Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna try to leave the music on in the background since today we are going to be 3D modeling again. Last time was like a few months back, um, and I need to create a rock sifter, um, so that I can clean some rocks in my uh, yard. Let's see. So let's see. We're currently set to projects. Broom rock scoop. Um, Actually, I'm going to create a new folder. A couple new folders. Because this may be something that I actually sell. So we're going to get a new folder. Rock Sifter. Okay, so we're going to start with a component. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Origins should be the same. Yeah. Okay, let me blow my nose. I probably should have thought about that before, but I keep forgetting. Okay, see, somebody sent me a message. Okay, there's no message, so why does it say there's a message? Okay, I don't understand this. Let's move OBS down. Whoops, not there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, my mouse is or cursor is showing. So let's see. So what we're going to do, actually, let me show. Oh, come on. Come on, take down. There we go. And let me reduce this in size so it works better. And we are going to go down to Home Depot. So I think they have them on their website. They should. Bucket. Okay, why didn't you type? Why is my enter key not working? That looks smaller than what I have. So maybe it's not a paint bucket. Because I'm pretty sure mine's a 3 gallon also. And this says 2 gallon. Or maybe it's a 5 gallon. Yeah, because I bought these. I bought the three. I bought the 3 pack. So that's what we have. So they are 5 gallons. Okay. So I wonder if they actually have the dimensions in here. Nah. I measured them before the stream because I didn't think that we would have them. But this is what we're going to put the sifter on top of. So bottom diameter is 10.185 inches, but it doesn't say inner or outer, so that doesn't help. And I do know that they are tapered because anything that's extruded plastic is tapered, so it's going to be wider where the opening is and narrower at the bottom, and that is so it could be removed from the mold. If it was perfectly vertical, it would be impossible to remove from the mold. So there's like typically I think it's a 3 degree angle, or was it 3%? I think it's 3 degrees. A three, yeah, I think it's a 3 degree taper. It's typical, and that would start. Actually, let me see if there's a seam on the side. Yeah, there's no seam that I can see or feel. So it is literally just pulled straight out. Yeah, they inject it from the bottom, so that if you look on the in the bottom of it, underneath there, you can see the where they clipped off the extrusion point. So yeah, so it's extruded from the bottom, and it goes all the way through. A little warbly on the bottom. But that being said, this is what we're gonna create a center that just hangs on the whoa, didn't mean to do that. That just hangs on the edge, goes down in, and then I have some chicken wire that I got that I'm going to put in the base of it that we need to hold in place, and that will should be it's 1/4 inch chicken wire, so it should be perfect for sifting the rocks. At least I'm hoping it'll be. So let's go ahead and close that. And we are going to start trying to think of how I should build. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start this from the bottom up. So we're going to create a sketch on the base. Now I know the diameter of the inner opening needs to be 286 millimeters. And trying to remember what keys do what. Oh, I think is it shift? No. Okay, so I was doing it right. For some reason it wasn't working. Weird. So 286, And then I need to create another one. And this is going to be 300, which is just barely smaller than the outer lip of the bucket, but it's also the maximum size that my printer will print. So I don't have to cut this into multiple pieces. I'm going to try to make it. Um, Actually, put it there. Yeah, I'm going to try to do this in one print or one object. So this should be like 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. That seems larger. I may not be calculating it correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's been a while since I did geometry, so I may have that wrong. But anyway, this should be good enough. So this is going to be the lip. Um, and from here, from the inside, we want to have an offset of, I think, a full centimeter. I think I want to make this 10 millimeters thick. Oops. I don't need the origins turned on anymore. And let's see. I haven't really decided how deep I'm going to make it yet. I'll do that shortly. But let's start adding some parameters. And I forgot where parameters are. Change parameters. And let's see. So we're going to call this one thickness. Oh, they added some new things. You can reference text as a parameter in sketches, features, to create them. Just adds text to a sketch to create a new parameter automatically. In the parameter dialog, create a new user parameter with text unit type and reference it in a sketch or add it to the configuration table. Plain text in single quotes. To string together existing text, add a plus between. Okay. We're going to call this thickness. It's definitely going to be in millimeters. 10. And so that's going to be thickness. Okay, what was that? That's weird. Okay, so and yeah. So we're going to do an extrude. Or actually, let's finish the sketch first. And then we're going to do an extrude. So we're going to extrude that and that. We're going to go up the thickness height. So now we have a new body. We'll just call this the base sketch. And the body is going to be the and that's just going to be the ring around the edge and down in. And now I need to add the depth. So we're going to say how deep we want this from the top. So the depth, and let me see what we're going to select for this. I'm just going to sort of eyeball it right now. So I need to add 10 to the top of the lip. I'm thinking I want it to be probably 100 centimeters then. So 110. Or just 100. So let's put 100 right now. So we're going to go from here, we're going to extrude, and we're going to do depth plus thickness. Let's turn this back on. We're going to join them. Oh, there's a new taper angle? Let me see if I can do, if, okay, I'm gonna make it exaggerated. So we'll say 30. So negative 30. What? Negative 3. Okay, I see what that does. That doesn't look like it does what I would want it to do. Yeah, so what I'm gonna if I need to taper it, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to do, um, come on, I'll create a loft. for angle 0. Okay, so let's see. So let's see what this looks like. So let me measure the lip on here. The lip on here is about 6 millimeters, I think. So the distance, if I do an inspection from there to there, should be 6 millimeters. This is 3 millimeters. So I measured something, I did something wrong. Which is why I thought this looked a little small. So let's go back. Turn off the bodies. Actually, turn the bodies back on. Let's look at the sketch and see what's going on with the sketch. Oh, I got this backwards. Negative thickness. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so that was the problem. Aha. Okay, so we need to go back and fix this. Okay. Okay, it should join. Okay, let's take a look at it again. Okay, do that one. Do that. Okay, that looks much better. So let's do an inspection. And that should be, okay, so that's 7 millimeters. Which is fine, because I gave an extra millimeter. Okay, so now you can, why is it not rotating around? Oh, it is. It's just because it's circular, you can't see it. I've never noticed that, but I've never made a circular item before. That's funny. Okay. Um, Now I also need to add handles. So let's go back to this guy. And I need to add a handle. Okay, so for my hand, it would need to be a minimum of 90 or 9 centimeters. So probably a 10 millimeter or a 100 millimeter handle would probably be good. So how do we do that? Well, first we create a line, um, or construction line. And we'll create it there to there. Yeah, and I want to leave that constraint there. And we're going to add another another parameter for handle depth. And now we're not going to round the handle, but we are going to, we need to have a minimum depth. I'm thinking probably 20 millimeters. We'll just say that's what we're going to use. Whoops. Okay, why is that? Oh, because I have a space in there. Handle depth. And try to think how I want to do this. So we're going to create a point. We're going to do it on both sides. And then we're going to create a coincident between this and the dot. Okay, didn't want to do that. Switch between there and there. And there and there. So now we have points that I can play with. We're going to set a dimension from here to here. And that's going to be handle depth. And then there's going to be another one here. Whoops, it's not working. There to there. And it's going to be handle depth. Okay, so we have that. Oh, I said, did I put the other one in there for the handle width? No, I didn't. So handle width. We're going to make that 100. I remember decided on that. So we're going to create 2 more lines. Now, I could mirror this. I don't think I want to do that right now. Do I or do I? Do I want to or do I not want to? You know what? I think I will do it. That way I have fewer things to worry about. So modify trim. Okay, I can trim that. So let's see, break that. And now we're going to add a coincident between the origin and there. And then we're going to make a line just from here to here. It's actually not going to be a construction line. It's going to be a drafting line. And we need to do a dimension from, whoops. And this is going to be handle width. And we need to do a, there we go. So we put it to the center of that line, so it guarantees this will be 50, that'll be 50, so centered. And then all we have to do is run a line from here to there. Oops, let's make sure it's not a construction line. And we're going to remove these perpendiculars and we're going to make them just so we're consistent across all of our uses. And then I should be able to mirror this I think it's a modifier. Nope, it's here. So we're going to mirror that. And the mirror line is going to be, whoa. Okay, it's not letting me select the line. Oh, because I need to select the line. Huh, it's not going to let me select. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to have to cancel this and we're going to have to draw a line, another construction line. So I'll just do it from there to there. Turn off the origin. And make sure it is perpendicular. What constraint has been applied to the line? Oh, it's already been applied. Okay, I see. So we're going to turn off sketches. We're going to make a constraint coincident from here to the center point. And we should be good. So now we can mirror it. Create a mirror. This line, this line, this line, mirror line, and we're good. And let's finish the sketch. Okay, everything's locked, so we know it's it's fully defined. And we are going to go back to this extrusion and we're going to add the handles. So now we have handles. And now we can actually see when it spins around. Okay, that looks good to me. Now I need to think how I'm going to run the chicken mesh. And this is something I have been thinking of, or I've been thinking about somewhat. So I'm going to create a new sketch on this plane. I'm just wondering if I should create a plane, an offset plane, to make this easier to work with. I think I will. So we're going to go back to here, and we're going to create an offset plane. Construct an offset plane. Oops, come on, let me. Why is it not letting me? Okay, so I guess I have to select the plane first. I guess so. Okay. Okay, why is it not? There we go. And we're going to go depth plus thickness. So there's our offset plane. And let's make it bigger. There. Okay, and then we're going to change this. No, not this one. This one. So we're going to change the distance from a distance to an object. And we're going to use this as the object. So that looks good. We are going to turn off the bodies. We are going to create a sketch on the offset plane. So we're going to see we're on the offset plane. And this is going to be filter plane, we'll just say. It's actually going to be chicken mesh, so I'll just say chicken mesh. Actually, I can put spaces in this if I keep forgetting. I just can't put them in variables. This is going to be chicken mesh. Okay, so now we're going to turn off the construction plane. We have the base plane there. Now we're going to project these two lines to our to our um, hit the mic up to our new sketch, and then we're going to turn off the base sketch. So see we have these two purple lines which are, oh, did I, you know what, let me let me delete these. I think I didn't create them correctly. um, I want to make sure I created them linked, and I don't remember if I did that. Okay, I did. So projected link is by default. Okay, so we're good. So these are just duplicates of what's on the base sketch, and I could actually use these for a loft if I need to in the future. Actually, I could create offsets, like an inner offset on either of these. But this is going to allow me to now create something here in order to attach the chicken mesh. And I'm trying to think how I want to do this now. Because I know I need to create a ring. To actually attach or to screw the mesh onto. Because I'm going to have to, the mesh comes in I think, what did I get? I think I got 1 yard, or it's 36 inches wide and something like, I don't know, 50 feet long. So I got a ton of chicken mesh. And then I'll just cut it down. So I'll create a square, and then I'll have to cut around, but I'm not sure if I probably want to, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Actually, you know what? I think I do have to create a loft. So let's turn off that. And we're going to make these construction lines because I definitely don't want to use them. And I want to create an offset of -5 millimeters. So I'm going 5 millimeters in. The same thing for here. And actually, I'm going to change those to parameters. So we're going to say what do I want to call this? It's going to be depth offset. Sounds good. And we're going to say negative. Or actually, I'm just going to say 5. It'd be nice if I could reorder these, but it won't let me do that. Okay, so that's that. There we go. Okay, we're just going to use that for starting point. And then we're going to turn this back on. And I'm going to put you over there. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to do a loft. Oh, but and I actually have to do it from here. So I might have to do the handle separately. Actually, you know what? I do think I do need to do the handle separately. And I'll explain that as I'm yeah, so we're going to have to do that separately. Reason being because I when we're doing a loft, it's not a modify, is it? It's a create a loft. So I can select from here to here. Oops. Join. Yeah, connected. Connected. They should go straight. Um, okay, why is this not working? It's saying there's something wrong with this red line. Okay, why is it not letting me delete this one? Okay, so let's try swapping them. Okay, why is this one red? Okay, I don't know why this is not working. Why is that showing red? Okay, so I don't know what's. Oh, I think it's because it doesn't allow you to do a center. It doesn't allow you to create a hole. I seem to remember something about that. It's, yeah, I think it's a stupid idea. Or, okay, let me see if I can change this. So we'll do that, and then we'll do a loft from here. Oh, shoot. To the, oh, shoot, I already lost it. So create a loft from here to there. Yeah, I don't know why it forces you to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, okay. So there's the loft. Yeah, I don't know why it. Yeah, it won't let me just select the edge. Okay, so we're gonna have to do it that way. Edit feature. So everything's good, and then we're gonna have to do a cut, another loft from there. To there. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to make it. Actually, that's not too bad. But actually, I want it from here. Okay, so we need to make another construction or another plane, which we will. Create another offset plane. So let's turn all this stuff off. It's going to be thickness. So I'm making this one wider so I can select between the two different planes. And this is going to be the lip plane. Before the active and that's because I need to create another sketch on this plane. And again, we're just going to project. Turn off the base. And actually, these aren't gonna be construction lines. They're going to be regular lines. And we're going to turn that off. Actually, we're going to do this not distance to object, and the object is going to be the lip plane. So we're going to turn that off, turn this on. So we're going to go from here to there. And we're going to join it with that. Yeah, because then we need to do the cut. So I'm just going to we're going to delete from that to that. So this is going to be straight, perfectly vertical, and this is going to be um, concaved in, as you can see a little bit. Just as we'll do an inspection. You can see this line and this line. So that's 100 millimeters there, and that's the distance. Oh, there we go. So the diameter is 286 here and 267 here. Just make sure I got this right. So that would be 9. Why is it 9 millimeters difference? It should be 10 millimeters difference in diameter, right? Ow. Okay, well, let's take a look at the. We're going to delete that. I don't need the base. So inspect. That's 286. Okay, that's 276. Okay, so that's correct. So that's 10 difference. And this will be 266 to 256. So that's correct. So that's 256 and that's 276. Correct. So that's 286. That's 276. Okay. I don't know why they were coming up different before. Okay, so obviously I need to adjust this because this is an entire centimeter difference. So we're going to change the depth offset to 2. So now this should be, whoops, 286, and this should be 282. Yes. Okay. So you can see that's what a loft does. It gives you it, in this case, I'm using it to go directly from, make sure, or just the, to go from this to this. Um, I don't know why it only works on closed objects, um, or I mean not closed objects, I should say, but on fully solid object, you can't do it on a ring, or even like if you have a, a rectangular object, you still have to do the core as well. And I don't understand that, but it is what it is. Or yeah, I don't remember on rectangular objects because I thought I did that on a rectangular object before. Anywho, I just know it doesn't work on with circular objects. And I think I know what I remember why. It's because a circular object has no begin and end. It's just one for some and for some reason it can't resolve how to um, which point on this circle to match to this point on the circle. It has something to do with that. So if I like put a cut in there, it might work, but yeah. Anywho, that's something what it has to do with. So um, yeah. So this will like fit into the top. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to attach the screen here of the chicken mesh. And hmm, um, hmm. I could create like a 2 millimeter lip around here to put it in, which would expose it when it's out. Thinking maybe I should do that. Because another thing I do want to do is I want to add a chamfer in here, which I haven't done yet. Because on this chicken mesh lip here, I do want to make this narrower. I think I'm going to use thickness in there as well. So we're going to create another offset. Oh, I need to edit this first. So we're going to do another offset minus thickness. And yeah, and I think I'm just going to extrude that up thickness width. So we're not going to add any taper to this at this point because I think we have enough leeway that we don't need to. And the reason I created that little lip on the inside is because I want to add a chamfer here. And I think we're going to make it. Hey, Ivan, how's it going? Oh, I missed you like a half hour ago. I didn't see that. I am modeling a rock sifter. Um, I'll show you what it. Do you have an? Do you know what I mean by rock sifter? Let me pull a tab out. Come on. Okay. So, is there a way to bring up my history easier? So, I have a bunch of these Home Depot buckets, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rock sifter using one of these buckets. And the way I'm going to do that is I'll show you the model again. Um, where's I'm going to take this object, which I'm building it upside down. You can see, so I'm building it upside down. So it'll go like this. This will be the lip that goes on the outer lip of the bucket. So we'll go back to the bucket. See this little lip right here, and it'll just like go in here. It'll dive down in about 100 millimeters, and then at the bottom of the sifter, I'm going to put some chicken mesh, 1/4 inch chicken mesh, and then I'll hold that into place, and the rocks, I'll shovel rocks into here, and then while it's in the bucket, I can or swish the bucket around, just like spin it around, and that should allow the rocks, any dirt that's on the rocks, should fall through into the bucket, and then I can do that multiple times to clean the rocks, and I need to do that because I have in the front yard, there's no grass. I have a tree with rocks all around it. So I need to clean the rocks every once in a while. And this will allow me to do that. So I can remove all the dirt. There's pine needles here too because somebody has a pine tree. And I could just remove all those. And then I'll have the clean rocks that I can store in another bucket temporarily. And then I've got them all clean, I could put all the dirt and junk back into the plate, into the rock garden at the bottom, and put the rocks back on top. So it's basically a way for cleaning the rocks. That makes sense? Okay. So that's what we're building. Okay. And I've already created the the top part of the sifter. Now I need now the because the chicken mesh is going to go right in here. So now I'm creating the ring, or actually no, the chicken mesh is actually going to go down here, and then there'll be a ring below that to hold it in place. But right now, I'm adding a little bit of a lip in here to make it easier to add and remove the chicken mesh. I want to make, so right now this is um, the thickness of all these items. They're right now 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter. And I added another 10 millimeters down here. So this will be 20 millimeters wide from this line to this line. Uh, yeah, that's easier. From this line to this line will be 20 millimeters. So it'll give me more surface area to keep the mesh in place. And right now I'm just adding a chamfer to this if it'll let me. um, is 10 going to work? I think it worked. Yeah, it did. It's hard to see it because it's all translucent. But you can see there's a lip in there now. So it doesn't go. Well, actually, like I could turn this off. That should make it easier to see. There you go. So you have this wall, and then this should be like a 45-degree angle, as you can see there. Actually, you can see that, and that takes me to the bottom. But I don't. I think I went too. I didn't do. I did something wrong. Oh, okay. No, I did it right. I didn't realize that I had already done this. So this right here, this ring right here, is going to be below the chicken mesh will be on this ring here, right in between there. So I need to make this a cut. So this item needs to be separate. Let me see. Oh, I know why I did it. Oh, taking an ad break. I'll explain it to him when I get back. When he gets back. Actually, I'm gonna make that 2 millimeters thick, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna do an extrude of 2 millimeters. Or actually, let me change this to 2 millimeters. I'll do that. So that's 2 millimeters. And that's just so I can create that. And this, I'm going to do an extrude of thickness. Okay, I don't want to do an offset face though. I want to do an extrude. You just bought some screwdrivers to disassemble my laptop. Oh, and replace it. Okay, cool. Is your laptop really dirty? Try to think of a better way to do this because right now I have an offset. Oh, you didn't realize how dirty it was. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call this the upper lip, and we're gonna have a yeah. This whoa, shoot! I didn't want to do that. I double clicked by accident, and this will be lower lip. And then but yesterday playing Dead Space, oh, it overheated. Yeah, that sucks. Did it screw up your game save? Or, okay, I need to see. Okay, now I remember how I did this. So we're gonna have a chicken mesh. Chicken mesh. Um, yeah, we'll do it on this. I can always change the plane later if I need to. Okay, so we have this line and this line. That means project. So this will be chicken mesh. And then this, we're going to extrude it. Yeah, we're going to, it'll be a brand new extrusion. This will be the mesh holder ring. Yeah, I don't think I need to make any more changes to the mesh. Okay, and this will be thickness. So there we go. That should be it. Um, so actually, let me go back. Why is this highlighted? Oh, because it was selected. So that's that. I'm going to create an offset mesh from or construct from plane from here. I'm going to make it 2 millimeters. Top plane. Bottom plane. You feel like you're working. Do you make 3D modeling or I know you do drawings, but I don't remember exactly what kind of drawings you do. Oh, you build structures? Okay. Okay, so if I turn this one off, yeah, let me make sure I got this right again. Do you, oh, okay. I see. You did stages for music festivals, structures. You could like after 5 years of working there. Okay. So you don't do this anymore, right? You do other things. I think you said you're doing more art now, right? Okay, and I need to change. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next this, and we're going to change the sketch plane to this. That'll move it up. So now there'll be a difference. It'll be, yeah, now you do graphic design for 3D illustrators. It's easier sometimes. I was very stressed doing this. You were stressed doing the structures, but not the illustrations, right? Those illustrations are, I think, is you just have deadlines, right? Or do you, you have deadlines for the illustrations, right? Or no? Or do they give you a broader leeway? So now we can see there's I'm allowing for a 2 millimeter gap for the chicken mesh in there. Oh, okay. So as a freelancer, you don't have any major deadline. I mean, obviously they want it as quickly as they can get it, but they give you more leeway, is what you're saying, correct? Yes. Okay, cool. So now you can see, so this is the holding ring. So I'm going to call this the mesh holding ring. And we'll call this the funnel, because that's kind of what it is. Although it's going to be blocked. So it's not exactly a funnel, but it's like a funnel. So now that you see this, you understand what I'm doing here? Does this make it a lot more clear? Because this is the way it actually works. Now I just need to put some holes in here. Which I need to figure out how I want to do that. I think I'm just going to put them in, because this is going to be 20 millimeters between the two, right? Yeah. You just don't know about. Okay. Well, you know what a colander is, or when you're like when you're have vegetables and whatnot, you're washing in a colander. So it's basically like a bowl, and then you can run water through it, right? Okay. Well, this is like sort of the same thing, but for rocks. Although I'm probably not going to actually run water through it. I could if I want to, but this is so here's the upper lip that's going to sit around the bucket, and this is the bucket, and it's just going to sit right in here. Whoops. And then the rocks will fill in here in this area. You can see that area right there that's highlighted. That's where the rocks will go in. And right in here at this level, there's going to be a chicken mesh. And you know what chicken mesh is, right? It's chicken wire, a quarter inch. So it's quarter-inch squares of holes. Yeah. And that's going to go across there. Yeah, like a grid mesh. And that's going to go in there, and this ring on the bottom is going to hold it in place. So that I can put rocks in here, put this in the bucket, or put this in the bucket, then put the rocks in, or shovel the rocks in through here. And then once I get it like half full or to a certain level, then I'll just swish it around, and that'll allow me to clean the rocks. And then I'll dump the rocks into a clean rock bucket, and I'll just do that over and over again until I got enough rocks that are clean in the area that I'm working on. And then I will take the dirt from here, all the stuff that I had to remove, and put that back in the garden, and then take the clean rocks and dump them on top. Yes, to clean rocks. Yeah, I live in the desert. We don't have grass, or we could have grass, but it's really expensive to water grass out here. So instead, we have like rock gardens, and this allows me to clean the rocks because I get dirty with the rain, everything. Just uh, dirt collects on top of them. Like I said, my next door neighbor has a pine tree, so their pine tree, the pine needles get stuck in the rocks, and I need to get the rocks to clean them. Yep. So we're gonna go back to here, and actually, you know what? I think I do need to have Whoops. Edit this. I do need to see this other line too. So I'm gonna. Oh, why is it green? Green is bad. It means it hasn't. I lost the link. Ah, what happened? Why is it green? Green means I lost the link. How did I lose the link? Just by changing the plane should not have caused me to lose the link. Right now I can't do anything. What's going on? Why can't I? Yeah, so that's the way it is. Because that should be from this down here. Shoot. Okay. Well, it looks like I don't know how to fix that. Okay, I need to look this up. Autodesk Fusion. How to fix broken um, I forgot what it's called again. Projection links. Manage lost production feature. Okay, so I have to do, let me see if that's it. Let me finish the sketch. Something's not right. Why are they green means lost projection, doesn't it? Yo, okay, I gotta delete them all. Dang it. I don't know what happened. Okay, so let me see. Okay, there's 7 sketch points there. Turn off projected. Still have 7 sketch points. Okay, we're going to delete that. Oh, shoot. Okay, so projected. 4 sketch points. Oops. What is this? I think let me see if I can if it fixed. Okay, I think we're okay now. How do you like the music in the background? I can play it while I'm doing this. I can't do it while I'm playing games because it screws me up in the game. Well, you don't hear the music? I can barely hear it, but I could turn it up a little higher. Do you hear it now? Yeah. How about now? Do you hear it now? I have it really low. Okay. It's a little too loud for me right now, so I'm going to turn it down a little. I can handle it there. There we go. So it's there. It's just very, very low. Hopefully, you didn't have your earphones in. So, oh yeah, now I need to add holes for the to hold the mesh in place. So, and that's why I just did this. So I'm going to call this chicken mesh top. Let me see if I can. So that's. What do I have going to there? Um, okay, I'm gonna. And I'm gonna say plus 2.2 millimeters. So I'm gonna edit this. No, that's the wrong one. Undo. Upper lip, lower lip. Okay, lower lip. Oh, okay. This is the upper lip plane. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change this. And I need to add an offset to here. And this will be lower lip plane. top plane. There we go. So there's the lower lip. It's the upper lip. Base. Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense. And this is the chicken mesh top. There we go. Okay. Now I need to measure these distances, make sure that they match. So inspect. Um, from that line to, oh man, this is hard to that line, which is correct because I added 2 millimeters. So that should be 100. Yes. There we go. Okay. Now I need to add screws to this. And I'm going to call this the mesh holding ring. There we go. And we're going to change it. So this was a 10 millimeter or a thickness extrusion. Okay. So we're going to add one more plane. And this is going to be thickness. And this is going to be ring. Thickness. Which I need to put over here. And then I'm going to change this. Redefine sketch plane to this. And then we're going to change this to object, which is going to be that. There we go. And the reason I did that, because now that means that I have my sketches up here. And since my sketch is there, I can put the holes for the screws that I need. So let's turn all these things off. Ah! And because I moved it again, they need to. Why do you. I need to figure that out. Why do they. Auto diffusion. Why do projection links turn green? Because that, to me, that a fixed sketch constraint has been applied to the projected geometry. This means that the geometry is fixed to its original location and cannot be moved or manipulated independently. The green lines are a visual clue to help users identify these fixed constraints and understand the state of the projected geometry. Doesn't make sense because they were purple and then they turn green. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's lost. Okay, so let me look back at the page. Yeah, so that is a problem. So if you change the sketch plane, you lose. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So I would call that a bug. And now I have to fix this here. Okay. So now we're going to go back and we're going to edit this. And I need to put in some holes. Actually, let me draw some lines first. Construction lines. Oh, I can't. Oh, it is. Okay, that does work. And then, oh, that was right. Okay, never mind. Why is this green? Oh, that's right. Okay. Is that still green? It is green. Why is it green? Oh, it's just on the green line, I guess. Okay, so I did that because I need to create circles in here. Actually, I don't. Actually, let me just delete this line. I'm just going to create it between this and that. Did it create a line? Okay, so hit construction. And it needs to be in coincident with that, that. Okay, so now, so I can't move it, which is good. So now I need a midpoint. Sorry, there should be 10 millimeters, right? Distance 10 millimeters. I think I'm going to use M5s. Whoops. thinking. If I use M5, so it's going to be like 4.800 because I need them to be smaller. Or actually, no, they need to be fives, and then I need an offset of negative 0.300. Is that right? Trying to think about this. Okay. I want to do a circular pattern. Center point there. Is 10 going to be enough? 12 might be better. Yeah, we'll stick with 12 right now. I forget what suppression does. And now we can look at finish that. Turn off all these. These are going to be holes. It is now holy. And I need to put holes in the other side, so I need to trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, so okay, that's that layer. Let me look. I need to look at some M5 screws. I'm going to be right back while I look at some M5 screws. So if you're still there, Ivan, I'll be back. Whoops. Ah, made a mistake. Okay, so I looked at some M5s. M5s look like they're going to be good. And I do need to mount some. Can I do it here? Oops. Ah, let me get this back. Front. Okay, why did it go that way? Oh, okay. So I need to. So I have all these M5 bolts, but I also need to put some M5 nuts because I don't want this to screw the bolts directly into the plastic. I need to put some M5 nuts in there as well. And the nuts are like 7.9 millimeters on the narrow side. They're hex nuts, which is all I really need. That's the only measurement I really need. The other one would be like 9 millimeters, but I just need to make sure I have clearance for the 8 millimeters. So, going back to the sketch, I think I need to actually make this on this layer. I need to do it on this lower lip. So I need to undo what I did on the other one, which I can do. Actually, let's just go back and undo all that. Whoops, what did I just do? Come on. So I feel comfortable going back to that point. Now we need to go to this lower lip. And this is where we're going to make those same changes. And this is going to be a construction line from there to there. And we're going to, and right now it can actually move, can't it? Oh, maybe it can't. Okay, so it can move, which is what I was thinking. Don't know why I can't move that, but we'll figure that out later. So in order to prevent that from being able to move, yeah, because it's not black. So we need to put it in coincident with this. Then it turns black, which is what we needed. Now I think I'm just gonna create a point, and I'm gonna put it at the midpoint. Because I can use, there's automatic screw hole stuff I can add to the that I can add after I've done extrudes. So we're going to take this create a circular pattern. Set the center. Set it to 12 like we had before. Then we'll finish the sketch. And that was this sketch, right? Yeah, lower lip. So that does that. Those are the lofts. And that's that mini extrusion, which is good. I'm actually wondering if I should, because this is a plane right here. You know what? I'm going to create another sketch here. Can I copy this? I'm just gonna delete it. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Oh, I do want to create a new sketch. What the heck? Why can't I edit the sketch? Okay, what the hell just happened? What the hell? I don't know what the hell happened. Okay, so this is my new sketch. Let's edit it. Turn off the bodies. Um, I need to turn all of this on. Project it. Turn bodies back on. Okay, so yeah, so that's the upper mesh. That creates the chamfer inside. Yeah, now we'll draw a line, construction line from there to there. And we'll make it coincide with that, which should turn it black. It's not letting me move it, which is the intent. Not sure why it's... Okay, well, it is locked, so yeah, so it's good. Then I need to create a point at the midpoint. Simple, and then we just rotate it. Try to see if I can get it to the outer circle, but it's probably going to be difficult to get. I'll just do it to the middle one since that one seems to be the easiest one to get. No, come on. Highlight the ring. There we go. So we're going to modify. Modify or try to remember how to put screw holes in. Maybe it's create. Threads, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, why won't it let me select? Okay, why am I having so much trouble with this? Why won't it let me put the threads on here? Oh, it's a hole is what I want. I'm not sure this is the best way to do this, so I haven't done it this way before. So we'll figure it out. Um, Simple. Tapped. Yeah, I don't need 60 millimeters. Um, 10. Yeah, that's fine. M5 fit normal. Oops. So let me see. Oops. Inspect. So the diameter is 5.5, which would give clearance, which is fine. Still not sure how I'm going to get the nuts in there. Yo. Gotta figure this out. So I want to put little holes in here to put the nuts in. That's the upper mesh, lower lip, upper lip. Okay, so let's edit this. Where did I put the rotate? Okay, I'm going to undo that. Now I actually need to create a polygon, a hexagon to be accurate. And it needs to be 4 millimeters. This needs to be there. Yeah, actually it does need to be a normal line. I'm going to make that a little larger too, make it 4.200. And I want to extend I need to turn this on. And actually, you know what? I do need to put it on the drawing because I'm gonna do some an offset. I'm gonna do an offset cut. How thick do I need to make it? The thickness of these nuts is 3.88, so I need to make it like a 4.1 thickness. So let's go back to here, edit the sketch, and we're going to rotate that all the way around. So this, that's fine. Okay, that's the chamfer. Okay, so we'll do it. Yeah, right here. It's actually going to be a cut, and there is going to be an offset. -2. Whoops, not 20. Or make it a 4, -4. distance is going to be -4.1. So now you can see we have holes that we should be able to put the nuts in. I don't know if they need to be that big. I think it's good though. I'll undo that. That adds the chamfer. Here's the sketch there. And we're going to create holes now. So we have 10 plus 4. Let me see what size these nuts or these bolts come in. I'll be right back. Okay, the compatible sizes are 16, 18, or 20 millimeters long. Because we're gonna make the ring 10 millimeters thick. The mesh is going to be about 2 millimeters thick, maybe 3. So that's 13. Plus 4 for the bolt. So we'll probably use 18 millimeters. So into here, this just needs to be 8 millimeters. Oh, but I need to edit that because I want multiples. Oh, it's not letting me see this. Come on. There we go. clearance holes. That should be good. Okay. Yeah. So they're not gonna; those aren't gonna go cut all the way through. See, they just barely cut through there. So I need to oversize this. I'm just gonna say it. It doesn't need to be any. It just needs to be a clearance. So we're gonna extend all of these. Oops. I need to undo that. I thought E was extend. I guess there's no key for it. Nope. No, why did it do that? I was on the other side. God damn it. Why does it fucking do that? Sorry, my French, but this pisses me off when things don't work right. Did it again. Why is it going down there? I have a feeling that I have to make those closed. Yeah, I do, because it's not gonna give me it. So I'll just do that. That should make it. Okay, why is that not working? Okay. Just thinking about how I want to, if just want to make the arc, or whoops. This is just simpler. Okay, so now we can do the circular pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's like got 12 selected, so that's good. Okay, now we can see in there. So we should be able to see, yeah, the hole in the top. I would have expected to see a hole down below. Let's see what. Okay, that's 4 millimeters. So that's 410. Okay, that's 8.1 millimeters. So I think this is probably Probably too far down. Thinking, I think 2 millimeters isn't going to be enough though. So I do think, yeah, we'll figure out if the screws need to be slightly longer or not. Actually, I can make it 3.9. Well, make it 3, and if we do that, we should see some cutting down below. Yeah. So if I make them 3.9, that should just end it. Yeah. I think that's good. And we're just going to add the center holes. Just going to do the points. Right. 12 of them. Yeah, they're points. Okay. And we're going to cut. Yeah, these are going to be clearance holes. Clearance. I think that looks good. Everybody, what do you think? This will give us 20 millimeters of um, clearance on the mesh. If I need to add more holes, I can do that. We can. It'll be difficult because the circular pattern stuff doesn't work. I mean, you have to do it manually. Um, but yeah, I think that looks good. So I have two items now. And it's probably when I create the mesh items, this one's probably gonna be funky. Well, let's go ahead and save. This is our first iteration. Uh, the save button's here now. Save as mesh. Cool. Okay, let's see if this works. Um, okay, so I'm gonna open up Prusa Slicer. See how it. Okay, so let's. So fills the plate completely. Looks like Oops. I forgot how to make it. Okay. Okay, so the holes are going through. It's looking good. Like I said, it's gonna. It just it fills the entire build plate. And I'm gonna center. Actually, it looks good. So, what do you guys think? It's gonna take me a while to print this. I'm probably gonna print this first because I need to make sure that this fits in the bucket. If it does, then I know I have the dimensions close enough, and then I can print this guy as well. But yeah, this rim is the biggest part of it. Let me see what it looks like from the other side. It looks pretty good. Okay, this rim here. Oh yeah, it's not going to be as big as this. That's bigger. And you can see I do have that ledge in there, which is what I wanted. And it should only be 2 millimeters thick, which is, I think is all I need. Woo! Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. I think this is where I've been saving the files, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, it is. And we're going to call it Rock Sifter. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm going to start printing this. I'm going to start with PLA. I always print my test prints in PLA because it's cheaper and faster because I don't have to worry about um, heating up the chamber. It can take a long time to heat up the chamber to like 42 degrees Celsius, which I need for ABS. And I will be making this out of ABS most likely. Um, I could possibly use PETG. I don't think PETG would be bad, but it does get really hot here in Las Vegas. Yeah, it wouldn't. I'm just afraid if I left it out in the sun, it might get to a point where it could melt. So I definitely want to print it with ABS, which is what I'll most likely do. And ABS isn't that more expensive, but it's much easier to print with PLA when I'm doing the test prints. So, anywho, um, I hope everybody had fun or a good time watching. I made a lot of mistakes, corrected them, but let me bring back Fusion up. So this is my timeline for everything. It looks pretty good, I think. I did leave just an arbitrary gap for what I think is the width of or the thickness of the chicken mesh, um, which doesn't have to be. It doesn't really have to be close at all, unless I want to have this angle go all the way up through here, and that's I don't want to do that at this point because this piece is only going to be 1 centimeter thick, and I can obviously adjust whatever I need to. If I need to add an offset, I can add an offset. But I'm glad I did these. I was not sure I was going to be able to do them today, but I did, and I have all the mounting and everything. So yeah, that's gonna. Sorry. I think this is gonna work out well. I might have, like I said, I'll probably have to make some minor tweaks to adjust or high size adjustments because the barrels or the buckets are not exactly circular. Who would have thought? But anyway, no, it's true. I did measure it at multiple different dimensions, and it varies plus or minus about 2 to 3 millimeters, depending in the diameter at different points. I think that's about what I saw. So it should. I think I created this with the minimal size, so it should just barely be touching the walls um, when it gets all the way in, which I'm good with. And yeah, we'll see how everything goes. But hope everybody had a good time watching. I know a lot of people are going to watch this after the fact, after I made it, because I have seen that I get a ton of people watching the VODs. So I may download this and actually put it up on YouTube. In fact, I think I am going to do that because this will be one that I think people will definitely want to watch. So anywho, have a good afternoon. And see, we did have a full 4 hours, didn't we? I think so. Or just shy. We're like 10 minutes shy. So have a great weekend, everyone. And I will be doing this again. I have another project for a rock. How would I put it? It's for the same rocks, but it's something I need to mount on a broom. I don't know what you call the brooms. It's the long brush brooms that you use for like sweeping on concrete and stuff. But I'm going to have an adapter, or I'm going to create an add-on for it that will allow me to rake or smooth out the rocks. And also for getting the rocks off of concrete, because that's the problem I have right now. Uh, Kids from the local high school like to kick the rocks around, so they end up on the sidewalk and driveway. And this will be a way for me to um, get the rocks off of the sidewalk and driveway and put them back into the front yard. So, anywho, as I said, have a good weekend, and until next time, bye everyone.